Hi everyone, and welcome to my office where I have my reef. I am Lucas Rios' dad. He's into reefing and he has a video show. And so what I want to go over with you today is just kind of an intro to my tank. This will be the first one, and I'm going to show you what I've got. This is a JBJ 45, and it has two Hydro 26s. This is my feeder. I'm not using it right now. I do have a algae reactor. I have a charcoal reactor. I do have an ATO. It's under here, and I do keep some supplies in here, and it's a 5-gallon ATO. I also have a Tunzi skimmer right here in the middle, and I have another reactor that's a GFO reactor. This side I have a DP4 doser. It's set up but not being used yet, and I'll explain that in a little while. And this is my power center. Everything is labeled. So from heaters, I also have a UV sterilizer within my pump, so that also helps a little bit. I have two Akamais, one on this side, one on that side, and they alternate with the flow so that we can kind of change it up every 30 minutes, and it does that over a 24-hour period. It's been quite a journey. I've had it for 3 years. And my experience has been somewhat challenging. As you all know, this is the school of hard knocks. There is no silver bullet to having a beautiful reef. I still think I am far from that. I do like my reef. I don't love it yet because there's just so much to get done. You know, in this hobby, there is a lot of challenges, and we get a lot of good information from some of the people who actually take the time to visit coral farms, like Reef Builders. You know, he visits, you know, all these coral farms. They give us great information. They keep us up to date on the latest things that we could use to probably help our you know, experience in reefing. But for myself, my goal is to basically achieve the ability to maintain SPS, and I think that's everybody's goal. And part of that, what I've been trying to do is to have a stable environment. I have achieved it somewhat, but from a manual process. I am going to change over to a Part A, Part B instead of concentrated alkalinity and calcium. So that's why I have the doser prepared, but I've not run out of my original one. I do use the Red Sea Part A, Part B energy for my corals. The reason I have new frags here is because some of my other corals, at first I thought that there were problems, but as I started looking at night, because my lights turn off here about 9, and sometimes I could be in here working till late, and I noticed the peppermint shrimp, and I started doing some study on it. Since I've run out of aptasia, they have been basically mutilating the polyps, trying to steal the food. Not that they're eating the corals, but they're agitating them so bad that they start to deteriorate. So I used a little trap that my son bought, and I'll show it here. I used this little trap right here, and basically all I did was I turned it on its side and opened up these teeth and put a piece of shrimp, and whenever they were in there, I basically just pulled the string and it righted up, and it caught them. I think I only had 2 of them. I thought I had 3, and these are actually wild peppermint shrimp. We got them from Galveston, actually, you know, on a fishing trip. But they did the trick for the aptasia. But I did hear one of the reef vlog guys say that there are just as many requests out there for peppermint shrimp to get rid of aptasia as there are requests for how to get rid of peppermint shrimp. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know. There's no easy way to get rid of aptasia, and if you want to use peppermint shrimp, at least you know there is a way to get them out. And this little trap, which we bought at a local LFS for not even, I think maybe, you know, I think it was like 17 bucks or something. It did the trick. It worked very well, and I was really pleased with the outcome. So that's why that's in my office still, because we just did that. So the goals for the tank, like I said, are to be able to maintain SPS, and I'm trying to get there just like everybody else. So if you guys have comments, you know, about things that maybe I could do different, maybe things you want to hear about that I've done. I had nitrates problems, I had algae problems, I had, you know, the red algae, I can't think it's called cyanide or cyano algae. I mean, I've had that problem and been able to overcome it. I've had a lot of different problems in this tank, and I've been able to overcome it. And my last effort here, I say last, but my next effort here, because there's always going to be one right after the other, is to be able to sustain an environment at which my SPS prosper. That, you know, so I'm in that mode right now. My NEM was actually about to die. I've had the NEM more than a year now, and about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I noticed that he wasn't bubbling up anymore. He was starting to lose color, he was turning gray, and I don't remember the gentleman's name, but on Reef to Reef, I put it out there, and this gentleman, and hopefully if you see this video, I can't remember who you are, but you gave me your AI Prime settings and said that it was lighting. I thought it was chemicals, I didn't know what it was, and when I sent him a picture, he said it was lighting. So he sent me that, I uploaded it. The first week, I mean, he wouldn't even eat. He didn't even really hardly come out. He was still gray. I thought, man, so the big question for anybody who has a NIM is, at what point do you take it out before it kills your tank? And that's a hard question. Well, I gambled and I won because I put in the settings that he gave me from his AI Prime that he had, and after a week I noticed that it was getting a little bit of color back, and within about 2 weeks he was starting to come out more and he was starting to bubble up. Still wasn't eating, but after about 3 weeks he actually ate some shrimp, and he's healthy now. His color is vibrant. He's a little bit of asleep right now. That's the way he sleeps. I notice every night about this time, that's what he does. In the morning, he reaches for the sun or reaches for the light. So whoever that gentleman was, and I'll have to go look it up and send him an update, but I really thank you for giving me that, because I almost gave up on him, and now he's flourishing. What I'm going to talk about next time, we'll keep this video short, I'm going to talk about my cleaning process. I'm very meticulous about wanting my glass clean, wanting my sand clean, making sure that I have a schedule in which I clean my algae reactor, clean my pumps, and make sure that everything is functioning, clean my power heads. I do have a kind of a strict schedule on how I clean my tank, and I try to change the water every week, usually about the same time, just to try to maintain the stability. I have a spreadsheet where I keep all my statistics so that I can try to have an account for everything that spikes or not spikes, so I can try to maintain a very stable environment. And I know that's probably overkill. My son says it's overkill. He doesn't really watch it, but when I measure his stats, they're pretty much on target. I don't know how he does it. Some people have a green thumb, and I guess he does when it comes to reefing, and maybe I'm just overdoing it. But anyway, so I will you know, welcome your comments, and I probably say a lot because I don't really video a lot. I will try to reduce the amount of ums I do, but until then, today's the day. So also I want to thank my sponsor. That's my wallet. For right now, maybe later on it'll be different, but for right now, that's my sponsor. And I guess we'll see what you guys have comments on, and next time we have a video, we'll talk more about my cleaning process. And of course, if there's any questions, maybe we'll address some of those comments that you give. Bad or good, you know, this is all new for me like everybody else, and hopefully you got something out of it, because I've learned from everybody's videos. There's always something you learn from them, whether you do it better or whether you learn something. But either way, either they're going to learn or you're going to learn, and that's what we're all in this together for, so that we can help each other have a nice reef that we can sit down and enjoy. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later.